In this video, I am going to show you how you can incorporate transparency into your websites. So I'm going to open up Hands-on 7.9 starter files, and you can see that there is nothing in here. There is nothing inside the body tag. So if you run this, you would see an empty website. Okay. Now what I want to do here is to put a div tag, div with an ID, say container. You can name anything you want, container, and of course you need the closing div, don't forget that. And within that I'm going to put an h1 tag just to give a heading, and I'm going to say fall nature heights. Alright, so I'm going to save that, and this is what you would see, just an h1. Now what I want to do is I want to give a background to this container. So remember how you put internal or embedded style rules within the head tag. You would put the style tag, don't forget the closing style tag, and then you start writing your CSS rules. For here, since container is an ID, you need to start with the pound container and open close curly bracket, and then you would put the rule here for the container. Here I am going to put a background image. I have the file, it's called fall.jpg. Alright, and then make it a habit to see if you want it repeated or not as soon as you put the background image in. So background image, background repeat, no repeat. Okay, so let's see how it looks. It's an h1 tag, right? So we cannot expect much from there. Since it is an h1 tag, it would only give you the width of the h1. So you need to make sure that you have enough width and height for that. So I'm going to say width equivalent to that of the picture that I'm going to put in, like 640 pixel, and height to be 480 pixel. Remember that we are changing the height and width of that container, or basically we just have an h1 there. So I save that and run. Okay, I think there is a problem there. We need to fix that. Width and height, width and height, no repeat. Alright, let's save it. Okay, we need to put the pixel there. That was the problem. So we need to have the unit, don't forget that. Now you would see your picture and the file. Now let's make the whole content, you know, center justified or center. So we all know what to do. Margin auto, that's all you need to do. Margin auto, and let's see how that goes. Alright, so it made it centered, and I want like some top padding here, 20 pixel, not like default for h1. So I'm going to say padding top equals 20 pixel. Don't forget the semicolon, and that would, you know, take that line, you know, h1 default space from there. And now the whole point that we were trying to do this hands-on was to talk about the transparency. So for this h1, I'm going to put a new rule for h1, open close curly bracket, and put a background color. So for this H1, I'm going to put a background color of white, F00, and I'm going to put a background color. And if I run that, oh, that's red. I'm just going to put white, so FFF would do that. So you would see a white background. I wanted to make the font size to be bigger, so to do that, you know what to do. You would say font size. If I wanted to make it say 400 times 4 times, I would say 4 4 times that of the default H1 text size. Alright, so let's see how that looks. It's bigger, and I don't want it sticking to the margin, so I'm going to put some padding there. So padding to be like 10 pixel, that sounds fine. All around it will put a padding of 10 pixels, so you would see, you know, there is some padding here and there. And if you wanted to change the whole element, what you need to do is the margin. So I'm going to say that margin left. I don't want it beginning at the left hand edge, so I'm going to put it, you know, start it around 40 pixel. So now you can see that the whole H1 element had the margin like that. If you want to do that on the right side, you can say that margin right, may also 40 pixel. You can do that too. You have the margin right. Now we came to this hands-on for the transparency. In CSS3, what you do is you would say opacity. Okay, if it is 1, that means it's opaque, that means it's not transparent at all. If it is 0, that's very transparent. But let's put like 0.6 here and see how it looks. So you save that, and then now you can see that how it became transparent. So what you did was you put a background color for your H1, and then you adjusted the padding, so you have some space here. You adjusted the margin, so the H1 start from there, and then you gave a value for opacity that would give you that you know, see-through look. So that is how it's done. In Internet Explorer, you usually use something called filter, alpha, opacity, then you give a number. But with CSS3, if all the browsers get updated with the CSS3 standards, this should work.